It says it's in the final stages of enriching weapons-grade uranium. Official media in the reclusive state say the country has already carried out several successful tests. It comes as the international community is trying to get Pyongyang back to the negotiating table over its controversial nuclear program. For more now, we can speak to our correspondent Nathalie Touré, who's in Japan. Nathalie, what do we actually know of how close the North Koreans are to having weapons-grade uranium on a large scale?
Well, experts, of course, here in Japan, but also in South Korea, say it's really difficult to know what stage of enriching uranium the country has really reached. But of course, this statement from Pyongyang clearly shows that the country doesn't consider being bound by any UN sanctions and violates them. What is known is that North Korea is indeed involved in enriching uranium. That's actually what Pyongyang said it was going to do last June. That was after the UN Security Council imposed new sanctions against the country following its nuclear test in May. Now, there are two ways of making a nuclear bomb. One is through enriching uranium, and the second one is through weaponized plutonium. In June, Pyongyang said it was going to develop both ways, but actually the U.S. suspect that North Korea has been enriching uranium since 2002, and let me just add that enriching uranium is more expensive than making a nuclear device through weaponized plutonium. So the two nuclear devices which were tested by North Korea so far were made of plutonium, so it means that North Korea is now trying another way, and there is, of course, here in the region, growing concern as it means that once North Korea has the technology to miniaturize these devices, it will be able to place warheads on its missiles.
Now, Nathalie, there were signals just last month that North Korea was softening its line, but now it seems to be doing a 180. Why is that? Briefly for us.
Well, it's simply because North Korea has a feeling that the situation is stalled. Pyongyang wants to negotiate on a one-to-one with the U.S., and Washington is taking another direction with Stephen Bosworth, the U.S. negotiator on North Korea, currently visiting Asia, actually Beijing yesterday and Seoul today for talks with the former member nations on the multilateral talks on denuclearization.
All right, thanks very much, Nathalie Touré, reporting there from Japan.